What's up YouTube and welcome to Kindred Lux Matrons, a new take on the archetype that's centered around playing a Spectral Matron to summon a Cithria Lady of Clouds from hand, buffing your whole board, giving everything Challenger. This deck came to my attention because it was rocking some pretty formidable win rates, 58% across all ladder ranks over a somewhat significant sample size. And I'd say right away the win rate does drop a bit once you get to the higher ranks, but it is fairly simple to play and very powerful, so it should be very effective for climbing up in ranks, especially if you're still in the lower ranks. And this version specifically even was sporting a 68% win rate, albeit over a fairly small sample size of 25 or 30 games. But on my Smurf account I also went on like a 10-2, 11-2 streak with this, hit diamond without any problems, and I definitely want to share this deck with you. First of all, I'm also writing an in-depth article, a little guide on this deck for runeterraccg.com. I'll leave the link in the description as well as in the comments. But I'll also give you a summary of the most important takeaways right here. So overall, this mostly plays like a mid-range list. The former versions of this archetype used to try to rush the combo with cards like Mobilize and try to make it as consistently as possible with cards like Stalking Shadows. The downside is you always need to expend mana first to get those combo pieces together, and that comes at a tempo loss. You're investing mana into something that does not translate into any board pressure or anything like that. Since the meta is currently very fast, we try to fill that gap with the champions Kindred and Lux, which are incredibly strong in the mid game specifically. So for our early game and anti-aggro stuff, we have all of these units: Hapless, Fading Icon, Minion, Vanguard, Sergeant. The upside of them is all of them can block once or trade and then still spawn another unit or generate a useful card like for Demacia, which later on synergizes very well with our champions. All of the small tokens can be great slay targets for Kindred. We can either glimpse them, Vial Feast our own unit, single combat something into the opponent, make use of the mark. Lux of course synergizes with for Demacia, but also with cards like Vengeance, Withering, Wail and Box in the mid game, giving us additional removal, and that should just help us stabilize. The idea here is basically that those two champions can already win games on their own. They're incredible value engines. We play a little bit of protection for them, and if they stay unchecked, they can just chip at our opponent's board turn by turn with lasers or with marks. And even if they don't have enough pressure to close out the game themselves, they at least stall the game until we do get to this Spectral Matron plus Cithria Lady of Clouds turn. So ideally at that point, by turn 8, we'll have one or two of our champions and a couple of small units on our board. We prefer to play Spectral Matron into Cithria on an offensive turn. Everything gets Challenger and the small units can pull the blockers aside, while the Cithria and maybe also the Spectral Matron with the fearsome tag with 12 attack connects to the Nexus, hopefully close out the game immediately. So rather straightforward and simple to play. The rest of the cards here is a bit of utility, survivability like Radiant Guardian, Vial Feast and so on. I think all of these cards make sense. Most important pointer of strategic advice I can give you is think ahead, plan into the next turn, think about how much spell mana you'll need. That's especially important with Lux and Lasers to perfectly get value out of them, to generate them when you need them, as well as playing Kindred and also having some mana open to proc the mark with a Glimpse or a Vial Feast or a single combat. And that's gonna be it for this little intro. If you want to read some more strategic pointers and mulligan advice and so on, you can check out the full guide in the description or in the comments. I leave the link there. Also, if you want to improve as a player in general, I can definitely recommend runeterraccg.com. They also have a bunch of other deck guides, a bunch of other general guides on Legends of Runeterra, meta tier lists, pretty much everything you need to improve at the game. But without further ado, I'll show you guys some gameplay examples of my run with Kindred Lux, the easy run to Diamond basically.
Is it the mustache? Who knows?
Alright, everyone's favorite matchup. Let's see what we can do here. Kindred is going to be a great find. Lux is a bit too slow and interactable. Like, it's very mana inefficient trying to remove stuff with Lux, but with Kindred it's alright. You what? I don't mind playing this into a go hard. Make my opponent's Kinku Wayfinder odds worse as soon as possible. Like, it's usually bad for my opponent to have multiple go hards in hand, unless, like, until they get pack your bags. So it's always a gamble, you never know how many they hold, how many they draw. But just odds-wise, it's often good to make them use, like, one go hard early. Like, breaking their draws, breaking their Kinku Wayfinder. Damn, that's not good. I guess glimpse we shall. Probably makes more sense on the Aristocrat. Am I already setting up for this? Ah, no, it's fine here. Thing is, this will become a challenger with Cithria, but it won't have any attack value, so it can't remove anyway. What a weird hand, triple glimpse. No attack? And drawn to save a bit of HP, maybe? No, I don't need the HP, I'll Wail eventually anyway. I think I just want to draw here. Draw into Lux or Kindreds. Okay, so Hapless into Lux into probably Wail. Do we even need to play Hapless? I don't think so. Probably better to bank mana, so I can also Wail box or... like, just for more flexibility later on. I will let the light guide me. No problem. How good is Glimpse? Probably not good enough. So surely we'll Wail next turn. Question is, do we play anything else? Sergio Ruff. Haven't heard Ruffle in a long time. Used to be one of my favorite expressions. What, are you scared of ruination? I suppose. So my opponent probably doesn't hold it deny.
Where are you? Wind and thunder. Night falls.
Move with purpose.
You have to get me out of here.
Let's see, I'd be very happy if this goes through. Oh, this is just a prime single combat. 1 mana, so I can single combat with the Hapless. I think I'd prefer single combating with Lux though, because I want to kill the guy before my opponent recalls him, right? In this case, I might even beam the... Usually beaming the Conspirator should be better. Okay, that makes a spell fizzle, that's fine then. But like we literally just removed one cannon permanently. That was definitely worth it. Seven plus 1 mana. Now it gets interesting. That's also a cannon. Pass isn't too bad. Pass is quite decent actually. As long as Ahri is still fairly far from leveling, there's not much of a threat coming in. And if we move all of our opponent's development into next turn, box gets better. Perfect, let's go. Such a weird pass. Yeah, I think our opponent doesn't realize that they're kind of on a clock. Like we're getting closer to our power turns. Okay, I should box right now before they generate more marks. See if our opponent tries to save the droplet. Although people tend to overvalue cannon in these situations. Okay, nice. That's also cleaner for the Lux level up. Okay, not much we can do there. Important thing here is that we bought a lot of time. There's no point in sharpsighting, my opponent can stun the blocker. I'd rather glimpse in a second. And then probably play Sergeant, unless I play top deck Fading Icon, then I reconsider. Oh, right, I messed up there. I forgot for a second that this already has a mark. It's fine though? Or is it better to play Sergeant? Nah, I think I want to go for the draw into Lazer. Like we still threaten lethal on the open attack. Okay, that's pretty good for them. Guess they'll have to play droplets, but we'll have single combat as well. In case they try homecoming. Oh, now the fun begins. Power turns.
Into battle with hearts aglow. I'll take this one.
I don't think, like, Sharpsight looks way too greedy. I think I'd rather save this to interact with a homecoming, guaranteed to set our opponent to 1, and then we can spam lasers trying to finish the game. It's also just super unlikely our opponent wins next turn with Ahri still not leveled. The cannon's taken care of. Okay. Not much to be done about this. Another droplet down though, that's important. And plenty of interaction is also very nice here.
I'll see all this world has to offer.
So we need Vengeance and one of the other spells. Probably just hit him for fearsome. Could play Cithria. Seems like overkill. Just making our opponent run out of resources here. Sure, we can keep going with this. That's the safest way to do it. You still always gotta respect Ahri Kennen for pulling tricks out of their hat, but like if we never give them... Basically, we don't ever want to tap out of mana to where their board can get out of control.
Your tactic is to never give up.
AFK support. And usernames on NA are something different, something else. Okay, so we're playing against Spooters. Lux is probably a good keep here. I like Wild Feast. I don't think I like Single Combat though. Elise. Like, it's okay, but not great. You know what? Let's greet it. Single Combat can be good against Elise, can be good against the Spooter.
Where are you?
Where art thou, Lady Elise?
These old eyes still see far and clear. Safeguard our homes. Please, I have
Not too happy about it. If our opponent uses Wild Feast, we have second glimpse. Okay, probably no Wild Feast in hand. Shutting down the draw here is nice. It looks like our opponent has a very bricked early game hand.
discipline and steel.
Nice. So it's probably a bunch of Trundles, Vengeances, I don't know, maybe Howling Abyss if they play it. Kind of stuff.
The trolls are going to war.
Vengeance is better after Lux is on the board.
The sun is shining. We should too.
It's an okay opportunity to just slam for Demacia. It's an okay Vengeance as well. And it's an okay pass because we got the power spikes. What I dislike about Vengeance is allowing our opponent to play another Trundle. For Demacia, it kind of looks good here though. Lux is probably getting Vengeance on our opponent's side though. Maybe just pass. Wait for the Matron Cithria power turn. Nice. Alright, I expect this to be followed up with a Vengeance. Not 100% about this, but it's definitely possible. Actually, no, it's not worth it, right? Shutting down a Lazer and the level up. Seems like they're considering it though. Glimpse is good for my opponent. Wild. So I guess we kind of just win next turn with the Matron. Like, it's a cute play on my opponent's end, but it's so mana inefficient. No mana for Ruination. Wail isn't enough. Can pull two small blockers aside. My opponent needs to take care of both of these. I guess what's it called? A Brood Awakening. It's a note from my opponent. GG's, sometimes it's easy. Actually, maybe it wouldn't even be. You can still make 2 units go through.
Fine work.
But Jesus, NA usernames surprise me over and over. Sharpsight should be great. What about Vengeance? We're not outracing our opponents, so we gotta outgrind them. Kindred would be good. Kindred is better than Vengeance, but Vengeance is alright. Especially if we draw Lux. Like, the idea here is we're not outracing our opponent before they get their Poros rolling anyway, so we just need to kill all of their Poros.
What's that noise?
We make them run out of steam. Or we just win. People still play Boom Baboon in this? Haven't seen that in a long time. Okay, so we're for sure taking out at least 1 Poro here.
Discipline and steel. Meet them head on.
I'll probably keep box mana open for next turn. My opponent seems a bit overzealous on playing these Poros.
I must get out of here.
So Snacks mana is open. I'm not really expecting this to play Troll Chant. I mean, they gotta make some cuts somewhere. 4 cards like Boom Baboon. Ooh la la. This is GG. Our opponent just discarded an Archivist. Man, playing against Poro decks can be very easy sometimes, in some rare circumstances and occasions. Interesting matchup, Jayce Lux. As long as we... Yes, I get combat's a key card. Opponent doesn't really have ping, so Fading Icon should be somewhat useful. 4 Chief. Nice. 4 Chief is only a problem if he can hit multiple times. Interesting.
Need clearance, pal. Let's go, people!
I mean, I could have not attacked and kind of maybe break my opponent's turn 3. But by not attacking on turn 1, it looked so much like they don't have a 6-cost spell. Because otherwise, I could Vile Feast on turn 2, for example. Or on turn 3, and they can't play their 6-cost spell. Oh, that was top deck that came from the left. I guess then it still makes sense somewhat.
Discipline and steel.
Suppose you want us working, eh?
Well, that is what I pay you for.
We march. Show them our metal.
We're working here!
Don't really want to use Sharpsight here.
If you can grace us with your presence, milady.
Axel, shut up.
The sun is shining. We should too.
Yeah, I guess just Vengeance ASAP. That does leave a single combat open, but there is nothing that we can't afford to lose here. 3-1 instead of a 3-2? Sus. Plays around Sharpsight, I suppose. 2 mana to kill a 3-3. Don't think that's worth it. Save that for later. For a Jayce or a Lux.
Going to the light.
Now's a turn where I could use Sharpsight. It's not great, but it gets the job done. I could open attack with the Prey, give my opponent 1 mana, but enable Radiant.
I will keep us safe.
Good chance that this is another assembly line or something of the likes. A spell that my opponent wanted to play proactively.
If I've forgotten, then no. Steel over sorcery.
Right, probably Radiant Guardian into 4 Demacia plus single combat. Mage Seekers are actually good in this matchup here. Stats wise for my opponent. Ooh, Kindred into 4 Demacia. Yeah, I like it.
I was feared once, just as you are now. What's that, Ram?
Something seems forgotten.
Tomorrow has never looked so good.
Let me know if you still want them science lessons, Jayce.
Will do, Axel.
Shock Blast kills Kindred, that's a bit of an issue. Because it gets double cast. Single combat? Ah, maybe Kindred was too greedy. Like, Jayce can blow me out next turn.
Tell me a story, lad.
Could have just taken the safe round just for Demacia, back it up with a single combat.
They were alone.
The path they traveled was one all must walk alone.
Where was it going?
The same place that all paths lead, to an end.
We were there.
Yes, we were.
Kindred dialogues are crazy. Huh.
Strike for justice.
Come on, then.
Sharpsight top deck's good, Matron top deck's really good. Good players unite.
Replicating the power spike.
Oh, that was nasty. That was a nasty top deck.
Clear the range.
Challenger, alright, you're getting a single combated. Oh my god, yeah, that top deck flipped the game. On the spot.
Fine work, Demacians. Fine work.
Right, final boss for Diamond, and it's... Alright, I haven't seen this deck in a long time, but Triple Vengeance should be really good here. Only issue is Hourglass, Rite of Negation, so we'll probably keep a single combat. Maybe even a Matron. Nah, I think stuff like Kindred Vengeance has priority in single combat. I wonder if this is gonna be like a Golden Ambassador version. Don't want to play Fading Icon, it's just Fiora fodder. Like, slowing our opponent down is very good for us. What we can't allow to happen is Unyielding Spirit. Okay, I think it's time to start playing the game. Standalone.
Just the way I like it.
Say combat looks good. Quicksand's pretty effective, puts her to -1. Okay, so Fiora temporarily shut down.
Let them eat souls. On guard.
I don't think I want to play this into a potential Hourglass. Vengeance Barrier looks good. Gets a Lazer as well. I mean Sharpsight Barrier. And we keep this as a fast speed option for Unyielding Spirit.
Pushing my limits.
That's cute. Standalone's not enough. Barrier is good for my opponent. Okay, so it's probably standalone Sharpsight or something like that. Single combat would be fine. Just gotta keep Vengeance mana open. Well, this turn I don't have to. For Demacia plays into Concerted Strike a bit. Probably just gonna engage in a classic game of chicken. Or just try to Vengeance, but no, I can't Vengeance. For Demacia here is fine though, I think. Because I mean, single combat I don't mind, it's just Concerted that's annoying. Alright, perfect. Took care of 2 standalones and a Fiora. to Rite of Calling Stone already.
Glory unrelenting. Discipline and steel. Show them our metal.
Just never tap below Vengeance. Still, like, there's no reason to rush it, right? Okay, next turn I don't mind tapping below Vengeance anymore. Alright, GG's. As long as we're aware of our opponent's win conditions and their key cards. Definitely doable. Alright, that was Diamond. I clicked that too fast, unfortunately.